Midterm elections are a crucial part of American politics, taking place halfway through a president's four-year term. Instead of choosing a new president, voters elect members of Congress, the House of Representatives and the Senate. All 435 House seats and about one-third of Senate seats are up for grabs. These elections can dramatically shift the balance of power in Washington, D.C. If the president's party loses control of Congress, it becomes much harder for them to pass laws and achieve their goals. Historically, the president's party often loses seats in midterms, as voters use the opportunity to express their satisfaction or frustration. The 2026 midterms are especially significant, with President Donald Trump seeking to maintain Republican control. The outcome will shape the final 2 years of Trump's term, either empowering his agenda or strengthening his opposition. Both parties see these elections as a high-stakes battle for the future of American politics. Midterms act as a report card for the president, reflecting public approval or discontent. A strong result can boost a president's influence. A poor showing can weaken it. As November 2026 approaches, political leaders and voters alike are watching closely. Every move and statement from Washington hints at the coming fight for control. The battle lines are drawn, and the results will echo for years. Understanding midterms is key to understanding America's political climate. Presidents usually project confidence before elections, but Donald Trump recently broke that tradition. In a December 2025 interview, Trump admitted that midterms are historically tough for the party in power, even for successful presidents. This rare caution from Trump, known for his bravado, signals real concern about the upcoming elections. By lowering expectations, Trump may be preparing to spin any outcome as a win or to explain away potential losses. His comments have sparked debate. Democrats see weakness, while some Republicans worry it could dampen enthusiasm. Trump's strategy could be to frame any victory as overcoming the odds, or to shield his image if Republicans lose. The president's warning has set the stage for a fiercely competitive election cycle. It's a sign that even Trump recognizes the historical headwinds facing his party. Democrats are seizing on his words as proof that his policies may not be as popular as he claims. Some Republicans fear this message could discourage their base. The 2026 midterms are shaping up to be unpredictable, with both parties on high alert. Trump's unusual admission has made the stakes, and the uncertainty, even higher. The battle for Congress is wide open. The outcome is far from certain. President Trump's main argument for Republican victory is the economy. He touts new investments and claims to have created the greatest economy in history. Trump believes a strong economy should translate into votes for his party. However, he admits that many Americans aren't feeling the benefits yet, comparing his policies to seeds that haven't fully grown. Inflation is another key issue. Trump promised to reduce it and initially saw some success. Early in his term, inflation slowed, and he used this as proof of his leadership. But by mid-2025, inflation began rising again, with prices up 2.8% year-over-year by September. The lack of new data due to a government shutdown adds uncertainty. Rising costs for essentials like groceries and housing challenge Trump's narrative of economic success. If voters feel squeezed, they may not buy the president's message. The disconnect between economic statistics and daily life is a major hurdle. Trump's economic pitch faces skepticism as inflation persists. The economy remains a central battleground for 2026. Voters' personal experiences may outweigh official numbers. The challenge for Trump convincing Americans that his policies are working for them. Despite Trump's positive spin, polls show many Americans disapprove of his economic leadership. A recent University of Chicago AP poll found only 31% approve of his economic policies, a sharp drop from 40% earlier in 2025. This decline signals growing dissatisfaction and a disconnect between the president's message and voters' realities. For many, personal finances matter more than government statistics. Low approval ratings put Republican candidates in a tough spot. Echo Trump's message or risk breaking with their party. Simply repeating that the economy is strong may not persuade struggling voters. Republicans must find a way to address real concerns or risk backlash at the polls. The gap between official optimism and public frustration is a major political problem. Kitchen table economics will drive decisions in 2026. Trump and the GOP recently faced a major setback in Indiana. Republicans tried to redraw congressional maps to secure a 9-0 advantage, with strong backing from Trump and his allies. Despite intense pressure, the Republican-controlled state Senate rejected the plan, voting 31-19 against it. This defeat exposed limits to Trump's influence, even within his own party. The failure complicates his strategy to lock in Republican control before the midterms. If Trump can't sway Republicans in a friendly state, he may face similar resistance elsewhere. The Indiana loss signals that local leaders won't always follow the White House's lead. It's a warning that Trump's grip on the party isn't absolute. The setback raises questions about his ability to shape the national political map. Each state's unique politics could disrupt his plans for 2026. The defeat in Indiana is a major blow to his midterm strategy. It highlights the challenges of uniting the party behind a single vision. Trump's path to a strong congressional majority just got harder. Another blow for Trump came in Miami's December 2025 mayoral race. Trump endorsed Republican Emilio Gonzalez, hoping to prove his influence in local contests. Instead, Democrat Eileen Higgins won decisively, 59% to 41%, in a city trending Republican. The loss was especially embarrassing for Trump in his home state of Florida. Miami elected its first Democratic mayor in 3 decades, despite Trump's backing. The defeat raises doubts about the power of a Trump endorsement. Democrats see it as evidence that his political magic is fading. Some Republicans downplay the loss, blaming local issues, but the perception of weakness lingers. The Miami race was a test of Trump's ability to sway voters, and he failed. Democrats are energized by the win and see a blueprint for future races. The result gives them momentum heading into 2026. Trump's influence in local races is now in question. The defeats in Indiana and Miami are more than isolated setbacks. They reveal cracks in Trump's strategy for 2026. Indiana's redistricting failure shows his limited control over the GOP at the state level. Miami's mayoral loss challenges the effectiveness of his endorsements. These events may make Republican candidates wary of tying themselves too closely to Trump, especially in competitive districts. Combined with low economic approval ratings, these losses create a tough environment for the president. Democrats are using these failures to argue that Trump's power is waning. For undecided voters, these stories reinforce doubts about his leadership. The 2026 midterms will be fiercely contested, with no guarantees for either side. Republicans must broaden their appeal beyond Trump's base to win. The path to holding Congress is full of obstacles. Avoiding further public defeats is now critical for the GOP. Democratic optimism is rising after recent Republican setbacks. The Miami mayoral win is a model for defeating Trump-backed candidates, focus on local issues, present less divisive candidates, and mobilize frustrated voters. The victory is attracting national attention and could bring more funding to Florida races. Democrats hope this success will energize volunteers and convince donors to invest in the state. Their strategy is to highlight Trump's disconnect from everyday Americans and his declining approval ratings. Every Trump-endorsed loss becomes evidence of his waning influence. Democrats also point to Republican infighting, like the Indiana redistricting failure, as proof the GOP is in disarray. They aim to make the 2026 midterms a referendum on Trump's leadership. By nationalizing the election, they hope dissatisfaction with the president will drive voters to their side. The recent wins give Democrats a strong foundation for this narrative. They believe this approach can help them retake Congress. The road to the 2026 midterms is steep for Trump and the GOP. Trump's rare admission of vulnerability sets a cautious tone for the campaign. Despite his economic boasts, most Americans remain unconvinced, creating a major hurdle. Failures in Indiana and Miami have exposed cracks in his strategy and influence. These setbacks give Democrats hope and powerful talking points. Republicans can't rely solely on Trump's base. They need to win over independents and moderates. Addressing economic anxieties credibly is essential. Managing Trump's involvement without alienating swing voters is a delicate task. The midterms will be a referendum on Trump's leadership and legacy. The outcome will shape the final years of his presidency and the future of American politics. For now, the GOP faces an uphill battle to November 2026.